Good evening and welcome to Primetime News on Mitv. I am Victor Daniels. In the news, President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday said the decision to end the fuel subsidy was not an easy one, but a necessary step to rescue the economy and redirect Nigerians' wealth to benefit ordinary citizens. The president announced this in his Independence Day broadcast to mark the Nigerian 65th anniversary, disclosed inheriting what he described as a near-collapsed economy, and said that though choices had to be made to save the country's economy from total collapsing. President Tinubu noted that his administration faced a simple choice of either to continue business as usual and watch the nation drift, or embark on a courageous fundamental reform path. He said that the administration chose the path of reform, the path of tomorrow over the comfort of today. Tinubu explained that subsidy payments and multiple exchange rates had long created a system where a tiny minority reaped all the benefits, and while the masses got nothing.
Years later, the seeds of those difficult but necessary decisions are bearing fruits. In resetting our country for sustainable growth, we ended the corrupt fuel subsidy and multiple foreign exchange rates that created massive incentive for a rentier economy, benefiting only a tiny minority. At the same time, the masses received little or nothing from our commonwealth. Our administration has redirected the economy towards a more inclusive path, channeling money to fund education, healthcare, national security, agriculture, and political economic infrastructure, such as roads, power, broadband, and social investment programs. These initiatives will generally improve Nigerians' quality of life as a result of the tough decisions we made. The federal and state government, including local government, now have more money to take care of the people at the lower level of the ladder to address our development challenges. Fellow Nigerians, we are racing against time. We must build the road we need, repair the ones that have become descriptive, and construct the schools our children will attend and the hospitals that will care for our people. We have to plan for the generations that will come after us. We do not have enough electricity to power our industries and homes today, or the resources to repair our deteriorating roads, building seaports, railroads, and international airports comparable to the best in the world, because we failed to make the necessary investment decades ago. Our administration is setting things right now. I'm pleased to report that we have finally turned the corner. The worst is over, I say. Yes.
President Bola Tinubu has assured Nigerians that under the APC leadership, the country's external reserves have risen to $42.3 billion, boosting Nigerians' global economic standing. He made the announcement at the book launch of A Decade of Impactful Progressive Governance, held at the Emmanuel Uwanyanwu International Conference Center in Owerri, Imo State. The president lauded Imo State Governor Senator Hope Uzodinma for his leadership and dedication to good governance. The Senate President Godswill Akpabio also commended Uzodinma for chronicling APC transformative journey and pledged a continued National Assembly support. The APC National Chairman, Prof. Netawe Yilwat, however, highlighted the party's global respect and earned through reforms across the key sectors, including the economy, the health, security, and education. Governor Uzodinma also described the book as a thorough account of APC's governance progress from 2015 to 2025. Tinubu's visit included the commissioning of vital projects such as the reconstructed Mbise-Umahi Road, Azumta Twin Flyover, and the Emmanuel Owayan International Conference Center, all achieved through Governor Uzodinma's effort.
This is the proof that Nigeria is regaining its strength and credibility in the global economy. Our trade surplus rose by more than 44% in the last quarter, while manufactured exports surged by 73%. These numbers speak of a Nigeria that's producing, exporting, and competing more than ever before. It's a better Nigeria. Naira has steadied. Foreign exchange reforms and new investment flows are restoring confidence in our economy.
On behalf of the National Assembly, myself and Right Honorable Speaker, and all the members here, we want to say congratulations to the performing governor of Imo State, himself a legislator. It is not just building infrastructure, it's the quality of the infrastructure. It is the quality of the infrastructure. Mr. President, the people of Imo State must be very, very, very excited. Progressiveness is in action. It is when I came to Imo State and I saw the roads today that I realized even when I was a governor, 18 years ago, I was a progressive. I was a progressive because of the things I did.
From the foundation, Major rose a movement that would rewrite the history of the political history of Nigeria, delivering the first successful opposition victory in 2015 and planting the seed of reform, whose fruit we are reaping today. Beginning with what we've seen today, 10 years later, we have seen and we are celebrating far greater than political endurance. We are celebrating transformation, delivery, and deepening of our democratic ethos. Permit me to honor the visionary and remind us of the important work of what the host governor, Governor Hope Uzodinma, a man of deep thought, seasoned governance, and strategic foresight. As the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, his leadership has been a stabilizing force.
In chapter 7 of the book, which recognizes the APC's approach to inclusive governance, progressive politics must embrace inclusion. This chapter highlights how the APC advanced women participation in politics, gave the youth more voice, and carried the minorities, and the only political party that provided opportunity and offices for special citizens. It also recognizes the importance of
The federal government has brokered peace in the face of between Dangote Petroleum Refinery and the Petroleum and National Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria after 2 days of conciliation meetings. The Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Mohammed Magari, who announced these in a statement issued in the early hours of Wednesday, said the matter was resolved following a lengthy discussion. The statement revealed that the resolutions reached at the end of the meeting included that the Minister of Labour informed the meeting that unionization is a right of workers in accordance with the laws of Nigeria, and this right should be respected. And after examining the procedure used in the disengagement of workers, the meeting agreed that the management of Dangote Group shall immediately begin the process of redeploying the disengaged staff to other companies within the Dangote Group with no loss of pay. It stated that no workers will be victimized arising from their role in impasse between Dangote and Pengassan. And on his part, Pengassan also agreed to start the process of calling off the strike, but both parties agreed to this understanding in good faith. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, has restated the Nigerian police force's dedication to professionalism, discipline and legal excellence. He gave the assurance in Abuja while hosting a special meeting with the police officers recently called to bar at the force headquarters, describing their achievement as both a personal triumph and a national asset. The IGP emphasized that the police cannot effectively discharge its constitutional duties without officers equipped with sound legal knowledge. He noted that the officers' entry into the newly upgraded Force Directorate of Legal Services, now headed by an Assistant Inspector General of Police, comes at a defining moment. The Directorate, he said, is essential to providing a legal direction, shielding the force from vulnerabilities, and ensuring the stronger prosecution in court. And while congratulating the new lawyers, Egbetokun reminded them of their dual responsibility of wearing both the police uniform and the lawyer's gown. He also cautioned against mediocrity or the misuse of the legal expertise, stressing that excellence would be rewarded, and while compromise and corruption would not be tolerated. Speaking on behalf of the officers, the DSP Sanwo Bamise commended the IGP's initiative, noting that it reflects its commitment to strengthening the capacity and ethical conduct of police personnel by recognizing the importance of legal expertise within the force.
The Nigerian Police Force is not just an enforcement institution, it is the frontline defender of law and order in this country. We cannot carry out that duty effectively without officers who understand the law in its depth and can apply it with clarity. Your success, therefore, is not for yourself alone, it's an asset for the force and for Nigeria. Let me congratulate you on your successful completion of the Nigerian Law School program and your call to bar. I have also been informed that one of you graduated with first-class honors, a rare and outstanding feat. You have made the Nigerian Police Force proud, and for that, I thank you. Policing is about enforcing the law, and no force can do this effectively without sound legal knowledge. The police requires officers who are not only courageous in the field, but also competent in the courtroom and clear in their interpretation of justice. Every action we take must be grounded in the law. Every power we exercise must be backed by the law. And every responsibility we bear must be judged by the law. This is why your achievement matters. Your return to this institution, not just as police officers, but as custodians of legal knowledge. That knowledge must not be idle.
We are here to express our profound appreciation to you for your magnanimous feat in securing accreditation and approval for officers of the Nigeria Police Academy to attend the Nigerian Law School and subsequently be called to bar between 23rd and 25th of September 2025. Despite resuming at the law school as late as 11th week and drawing from the regimented upbringing of the academy, the Nigerian Police Academy proudly produced a first-class candidate in the person of DSP Laraba Enemona Idachaba, ASK, of regular course 2, alongside several other second-class graduates. We remain deeply grateful that this milestone, which began with the gracious approval of the Inspector General of Police around this time last year, has now come to fruition during your time. Sir, it is indeed monumental. As our father and the head of this noble profession, we offer heartfelt appreciation. Thank you very much.
The Lagos State government has called on professional institutions and corporate bodies to cooperate in preparing the young people for future jobs and strengthening the state's economy. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu made the appeal while inaugurating a newly built 160-seater lecture theatre at the Lagos State University of Science and Technology, Ikorodu, donated by the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN. The facility, named CIBN Hall, is designed to enhance the students' learning experience and prepare them for careers in finance. The governor, who was represented by the Commissioner for Tertiary Education, Tolani Sule, applauded the CIBN's investment in education and urged the students to make an optimal use of the new infrastructure. President of the CIBN, Professor Pius Oladeji Olariwaju, noted that the project reflects the institute's commitment to grooming future banking professionals, and while the LASOTEC Vice Chancellor, Professor Olumuyiwa Odusanya, described the hall as a major lasting project that will elevate the university's global competitiveness. He added that the collaboration goes beyond the building itself, as it will enable banking and finance students to begin their professional training while still in school.
This legacy project, dedicated to the Department of Banking and Finance, is more than a structure. It is a bold testament to what is possible when vision meets responsibility. It speaks to the enduring power of corporate social responsibility when executed with foresight, relevance, and impact. In a world where education is no longer confined to lectures and textbooks, but increasingly driven by innovation, collaboration, and experimental learning, this facility stands an enabler. It will not only serve as a center for academic discourse, seminars, and thought leadership, but also a springboard for nurturing the next generations of financial professionals who are prepared to meet global standards.
This all is far more than just bricks and mortar. It stands as a beacon of knowledge and a sanctuary of competence in our ecosystem. It has been purposefully designed to provide an enabling environment for the teaching and learning of banking and finance that will help equip generation of students with the skills and resilience needed to navigate the dynamic and never-changing financial service industries. Moreover, it embodies the strength and partnership and reflects the unwavering commitment of the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria to the promotion of education, professionalism, and the advancement of national development. Distinguished guests, this project directly aligns with the legacy agenda that my colleagues and myself put together, as the 23rd President and Chairman of Council of a Noble Institute. More especially, it embodies a commitment to competence, equipping the students with the essential skills and values required to excel in banking and finance as a course of study. It also reflects a strong belief in gender, generational, and geographical inclusivity, ensuring that no one is left behind as we build stronger profession and a more prosperous nation.
We are celebrating today more than brick and mortar, because beyond this building, the CIBN has given the Banking and Finance Program full accreditation. I would like to remind this august audience that in addition to that, we have received full accreditation also from the National Universities Commission. The CIBN has also approved a linkage program for our university, such that our students of banking and finance can start the professional banking training to become members of the institute and become certified bankers.
And as Nigeria marks a 65th independence anniversary, the Lagos State government says that it is resolute in its commitment, inclusive governance, social protection, and peaceful coexistence, unity in ensuring the dividends of the democracy for the collective good of all. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said at an event to celebrate the 65th National Independence Day celebration service themed Nigeria at 65, all hands on deck for a greater nation. Sanwo-Olu, who said the nation could only achieve a lasting progress if government and the people worked together in synergy with shared trust and responsibility. He noted that since the inception of his administration, deliberate policies had been introduced under expanded themes plus agenda to deepen the social inclusion and youth empowerment. He said that no Lagos resident would be left behind in the drive for development, pointing to the expansion of the Lagos Social Register to capture over 1 million households across all 57 councils. Sanwo-Olu listed interventions including affordable healthcare through the State Health Insurance Scheme, food subsidy initiatives, affordable housing schemes, scholarships for indigent students, and empowerment through 37 skill acquisition centers. He also commended security agencies and legislature, religious leaders, traditional institutions, and youth for their roles in sustaining peace and development in the state, with a call on Lagosians and Nigerians for a renewed dedication to unity, hard work, and mutual respect.
As Nigeria marks 65 independence anniversary, let us all rededicate ourselves to the ideals of unity, hard work, and mutual respect. Let us decide that in our words, in our action, in our choices, we will contribute to a Lagos, and indeed to a real Nigeria. A Nigeria and a state that works for every of its citizens. If we hold firmly to this collective resolve, I'm more than confident that the future of a peaceful and prosperous city and nation is achievable. An enduring greatness that we desire is surely ours. I want to use this medium to also assure all our investors, to members of our international community, that Lagos will continue to remain home, a peaceful destination, and a city that is willing and able to attract foreign direct investment at all times.
In Ogun State, the governor, Dakpo Abiodun, joined the residents and dignitaries to celebrate the 65th anniversary of the journey to the nationhood, and saying that despite the current challenges, that there is hope for a brighter future. He gave the admonition in Abeokuta, the state capital, and while giving his speech at the June 12th Cultural Center in the state capital, where he promised his administrations to resolve to improve the frontier of critical infrastructure development of the state, hinged in transparency and accountability, and while asking Nigerians not to allow the spirit of resilience to be broken in the face of the current reforms in critical sectors of the nation's economy being championed by President Bola Tinubu.
Through our shared development mantra, infrastructure, social well-being and welfare, education, youth empowerment and agriculture, we continue to align with the renewed hope agenda to ensure that Ogun remains a beacon of industrial growth, cultural pride, and human capital development. Administration has once again demonstrated that governance is not about political promises or empty PowerPoint projects, but about bold execution and transformative delivery. Under the leadership of my team and I, Ogun State has moved from plans to action. We have notably constructed, reconstructed, or reconstructing every major interstate highway. Today, Ekpe Ijebode, Agbara Atolusada, Ota Abeokuta, Interchange Papalanto, Shagamu Abeokuta remain our testimonial. Landmark initiatives that position the Gateway State as a rising multi-billion-dollar economy. Our policy initiative and reforms, coupled with administration's commitment to infrastructure, industrialization, and human capital development, continue to set Ogun State apart as not just the industrial hub of Nigeria, but also a globally competitive investment destination that has earned us a rating as one of 2 best performing states in Nigeria. In a defining testament to this legacy of action, the Gateway International Airport, aptly tagged GWI, is set to open a new chapter in the state's development story as commercial passenger operations commence on October 7, 2025.
Stakeholders in the real estate sector have reiterated the urgent need for a robust and workable housing policy in Nigeria to bridge the persistent housing deficit and promote affordable mass housing for citizens. The call was made at the 8th Pan-African International Annual Real Estate Summit held in Lagos, where the industry leaders examined the challenges and opportunities within the sector. The convener of the summit, David Anya, emphasized that the housing sector holds enormous potential to drive Nigerians' economy recovery, empower citizens, and reduce unemployment. Anya noted that despite economic uncertainties, the real estate industry has shown a remarkable resilience, attracting more investors willing to commit resources even in the face of rising inflation. And also speaking at the event, a member of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Kayode Olorunfemi, underscored the vulnerabilities within the Nigerian real estate market. He pointed out that the business environment remains unstable, and largely due to persistent inflation, a significant infrastructure deficit, a shallow financial system, inadequate policy frameworks, and growing exchange rate pressures. Olorunfemi therefore urged a stronger government involvement and partnership with stakeholders in the sector to ensure the development of affordable housing projects that can meet the needs of millions of Nigerians. He stressed that without deliberate policy interventions and sustained collaboration, the dream of mass affordable housing will remain elusive.
Developers should be collaborated with. Developers should be given incentives. They should be given a soft landing in things that are germane to delivering good quality housing for the teeming population. Nigerian population is growing very, very fast, faster than the pace of development. We are really, really, really behind. So we need all hands to be on deck to have an harmonious relationship, the ease of procuring all the documentation you need for your approvals, the ease of getting the land, and the transparency needed for investors' confidence. Once these are in place, I'm sure we're on our path to greatness. Government is our regulator. We are the ones making things happen. All we are just asking for is more involvement, more consideration, and more partnership in this. Like I said earlier, we are partners in development.
Real estate is not about the practitioner alone. It's not about the government. So it encompasses the both ends, the federal government, the state government, the real estate practitioners themselves. The real estate sector needs to start thinking of affordability, building affordable housing for middle and for those that cannot afford the skyscrapers. They have to start thinking of how they can build affordable homes for civil servants, for low-income earners and all of that.
The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors on Wednesday decried the country's poor doctor-to-patient ratio of 19,083, describing it as far from a global best practice. And in a press statement issued on Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary, the association announced that with effect from today, October the 1st, 2025, resident doctors across the country will no longer take a continuous call beyond 24 hours. The statement was signed by NARD President Dr. Mohammed Suleiman, Secretary General Dr. Shuaibu Ibrahim, and the Publicity and Social Secretary Dr. Abdul Majid Ibrahim. Nigeria has long struggled with a shortage of doctors worsened by a steady exodus of health professionals seeking a better pay and working conditions abroad. And according to the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Prof. Mohammed Paid, over 16,000 Nigerian doctors have left the country in the last 5 to 7 years to seek a greener pasture in other countries. The consequences is a crushing workload on those who remain, and especially the resident doctors who form the backbone of Nigeria's tertiary healthcare system. Medical associations have repeatedly warned that unless conditions improve, that more doctors will continue to leave and worsening the crisis. Meanwhile, the Association of Resident Doctors at Ladoke Akintala University of Technology Teaching Hospital, Ogbomoso of Oyo State, has suspended its indefinite strike after 2 months. The doctors announced the decision on Wednesday in response to the assurance given by the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde during his visit to the hospital on Tuesday, September the 30th. The doctors made this known in a letter addressed to the Chief Medical Director of the hospital, Prof. Olakunleyin Olawale, titled Notification of Suspension of Industrial Action. They said that they would resume clinical services at 8 a.m. on Thursday, October the 2nd. However, they also emphasized the need for sustained commitment from the government. The letter, dated October the 1st, 2025, was signed by the President, Dr. Adedokun Stephen, and General Secretary, Dr. Mustafa Adedakbo. The indefinite strike, which began on July the 29th, was called over poor working conditions, a lack of medical equipment, and welfare-related issues, among others. The suspension of the strike comes as a relief to residents of Ogbomoso who rely heavily on the teaching hospital for affordable care. This decision was reached in honor of the visit of Oyo State Governor Engineer Seyi Makinde to the institution on September the 30th, 2025, and in recognition of his sincere commitment to resolving the long-standing demands of our association. And that's it on the local news. We'll now take a short break. When we'll come back, we'll take some stories from the foreign scene. Welcome back here. The foreign scene. The United States Embassy in Nigeria has assured that visa and passport services will continue despite the partial shutdown